Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. This is Diana with Creativity Incorporated, and I wanted to show you something I started doing. I did a Nixbie bulb. Um, it's pretty much a light bulb that they used to use in the Russian era to like a numbers marker. And so before LEDs and all that stuff, they used to use these kind of light bulbs that had like the filaments inside will be a shape of a color. And so whenever it wanted to signify a color, it would just light up that filament inside that same light bulb. Anyways, I have been wanting to make my faux Nixbie because they're quite expensive. They're like, I don't know, $50, $100 a light bulb, per light bulb. So I have been wanting to make a fake one. So I saw these tubes. I think it was at the 99-cent store. They had a salt or bath salts, and I got a few, like a whole little. I think I got 2 packets. I don't remember what happened to the other packet, but luckily I had this one packet to show you guys how I did it. I also got this little saw at the 99-cent store. It worked out great. Um, uh, I wanted to do it on my table saw, but because I wanted to show you guys that it could be done with the saw, I did it in this. But in reality, you can do it with the chop saw or with if you had a bandsaw, that would be better. But this little 99-cent saw was great for this occasion. I also went ahead and cut the tip, the what is it called, the coil tip, or the opening and closing tip of the tube, so that I can give me that extra little character of my light bulb. Now you can cut them any size. I've pretty much seen them every size, but mine was 2 inches. Actually, I think it was a little less than 2 inches because I wanted to fit, as you guys can probably saw on the preview of the picture, so it can fit on the height of the within the height, because I think it goes over, but within the height of my spine. And so after you cut all your pieces, you make sure you sand the what is it called, the cutting part, because it's rough, and has all these cutting edges and it's not smooth. So go ahead and sand it when you're done. Cutting it with any tool. Make sure you clean up your edges. Okay, so I covered my book with only coffee stained paper. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to make I've been looking at antique like pages on Instagram, and I'm noticing that all of them, well, most of them have this leather spine, but it's like so old and torn. And I have been so inspired by that. So I want my book to be very, 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 very old. So I'm using this craft paper. It's not craft paper. Is it called craft? Yeah, I think it is called craft paper. I don't know. I just have this piece left over, but I know it's craft paper or leather or something like that. It's a paper that's like non-tearable. If you guys know what I mean. I have the link of it on Amazon, and I'm gonna link it down for you. It is one of the best things I like putting on my spines. I've used them before, and they're pretty flexible. And if you wanna like make something strong, you can use this. But I also thought about using it as leather, faux leather. So I'm gonna paint it with 2 coats of black, and then later you guys will see me, I'm gonna sand it, and it looks like very old torn leather, because leather is neither shiny or matte, and satin wasn't feeling it for me. So I went ahead and I'm gonna oil my piece. It's not gonna be so shiny and it's not gonna be so matte, but I think it's that perfect leather shine that we're looking for. Now this is shiny right now, but it's gonna, when it dries, it won't be as what is it called, as shiny as this is right now. Now I wipe the table because you don't want to get coconut oil on the under part, and you can use any oil. I'm just using coconut oil because I always have it in hand. And then I'm going to make sure, because the way I plan to use my journal, and it's not a journal, it's like a desktop um, calendar, right? So I want it to be very stiff in a way, without being looking like stiff. So I'm gonna make sure that if anything, my spine doesn't what is it called, like bend and sway and jiggle and stuff. So I'm gonna reinforce it so that it stays, you know, one way. And so what I'm gonna do first, I put a piece of file folder. You guys know I use everything. If you guys ever want to follow some of my tutorials, just make sure you have file folder on hand, because man, that's pretty much what I use. File folders in every colors and shapes, and I use a lot of coffee paper. Anywho, so um I wrote this, I drew this 2022. Excuse me. In thinking I might want to go that route. I'm not, at this point, I'm not 100% sure. You know, I'm just kind of like blopping it. I blopped it down because I want to plan for it in case I do decide to do this. You'll see that later I do use it, but at this point, I'm not too sure about it. So, because I don't want my spine leather to eat so much of my space, because when I drew it down, I wasn't planning on the leather, and that's another reason why I didn't like go with it with pen, because I did 1 inch all the way around on my cover, but now I'm eating half of it on this side because of the spine. But then later I remember I used the other side for the coil, for the coiling, so it'll eat half of that side. So pretty much it'll be centered anyway. So, you know, I was a genius even though I wasn't being a genius. Just kidding. So I make sure I centered it because being so black, I've noticed that in the past when I really don't measure it, it comes out wonky and it bothers me. Like when the piece is like a piece of leather and it's wonky itself, and I put it in a wonky way, then I really don't care. But if it's a straight piece, like a exact cut, it does bother me if it's not straight. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, are you guys that same way? I don't know. Let me know down below. But I make sure I mark all the grooves. I make sure I go in there really well. Now because this became so hard with the paint, I make sure you glue it right, because it's really stiff. I mean, it gets soft as you use it, and you know it gets mandible. Anyways, as you use it. So, but as for now, when I just painted it, it became really hard. So between the book and the light bulbs, I felt like there was something missing. Like there was no connection in my head in the piece from the light bulbs to the book. So I felt like maybe one of those grids, like a metal grid, uh, would make that connection in my head. I don't I don't know why. I don't know how in my head it makes sense, but I decided to weave some sort of like wire netting, fishing, or grid. Um, at this point, I'm not too sure it's gonna work, so I just put a little bit. I should have put a little bit more, but I only had that little piece of that little coil of wire. So because I'm playing with it, I wasn't putting so much material into it. But it turns out, you know, I liked it. It turns out that it looked great as it was. Okay, so next day, my son had left a present, a surprise mug for me. He knows I love Walt Disney, so he left that for me. And he had it wrapped up in this paper, and I'm going to use it as piece of scrap to paint my what is it, wire? So I didn't want to use acrylic because I know it scratches off quickly, and I wanted it to be more sort of like a stain. So I'm using this waterproof ink. It's an ink that you use to use your calligraphy pen, and it's waterproof. So I'm hoping that I just don't want it to be that shiny silvery. I just want it opaque, darkened. I don't need it to be any other color. I don't need it to be black or anything. Also, mail came in, right? So I have ordered these 2 packages from Alibaba. I wasn't too sure they were going to come in because I got an email saying Well, it's your order is received and it's good and it should be shipped. And then I got an email saying it was shipped. Then another later, I got an email saying, "Oh, your order was canceled," and I was like, "Ugh, whatever." And I was gonna check. I meant to check my bank, but I didn't. So time passed by. I got these in the mail, so I guess my order was not canceled. But I wanted to share with you guys the things that you can get from Alibaba. I think that for these two packages in total, I paid about like 23 bucks or 27 bucks, something like that, with shipping. Because shipping, I think, was free if you ordered like if you within Alibaba Express or AliExpress, you have stores sort of like Amazon. So there's like different little stores. So what I did is, for me to get free shipping, I stuck to one store so that I would get that free shipping. And I think they had a special for one item for like 99 cents or 10 cents, something super cheap. So I stuck to one store, and these are actually two stores actually. So I ordered the minimum from both stores because that's why they come in two different packages. And then what I did is I just ordered from them, and I wanted to show you guys because I think for what I get for the money, it was super cheap. I have tried to get these washi tapes forever from other stores, and they're always like running out. On top of that, they were like $8 all the time, and you know, here I got them for $1. And so um, I just wanted to show you guys that um, if sometimes you feel overwhelmed because all these craft supplies tend to be pricey. I was scared to order from Alibaba Express. I have ordered on the wholesale side before because of the business, and I have ordered larger quantities. But this express side, which is a minimum amount account, so you can order one piece at a time. With the original Alibaba Express, you had to order like 5,000 pieces, 10,000 pieces, and it was all wholesale side. But I guess a few years ago they started doing retail style, and I liked it. I liked the quality. It was really nice quality. They were not cheap. I had not ordered from stationery from overseas like this. I mean, I know all our stationery is done over there. I know that, but I felt like it was gonna be maybe like very cheapy. And I was gonna say a very 99-cent store, but man, the 99-cent stores now are like coming up with so many good things. So that term, oh, very 99-cent store, in my head is changing to, hey, let's go to 99-cent store. I've always loved 99-cent store and secondhand stores and swap meets. But it was, for me, my head was always like, get something, you know not the best quality. But now I've noticing that the 99-cent stores have a very very okay quality. And so um you know I don't mind, like, in this project that you see here, I have gotten most of my stuff from the 99-cent store. And I'm very excited that I get to craft from the 99-cent store and not feel like I'm cutting up stuff, and I don't feel like I'm scared of trying new things because I've only spent $1. Anyways, after my rant, yeah, I got all these things. They're not just like that thin paper. Some of them are silky and they're nice prints. They're not opaque, and they're not like ugly prints. So I will link the link if I can find the store from the Alibaba where I got these two packages from. I will link it down below. I don't know if it will allow me, but I can try. I have not ever tried to link any Amazon, but I will recommend it. And I'm showing you guys from that one store. Like I said, one packet is from one store and the other packet is from the other store. And like I said, I think I spent, let's just say, 30 bucks on both of the packages. So in my book, very very worth it. I am planning to journal more, so I bought all these little ephemeras because I want to journal, and also because sometimes I feel like putting that one little detail or that one little thing on the side of my book sometimes. Um, and that little piece of ephemera, I like to make my own ephemera, but sometimes you have this ephemera you can just throw on there, or inspires you to make other kinds of ephemera. And so, yeah, like I said, I will link it, and let me know if you guys like me to share my hauls with you guys. And if so, I'll share more. I do buy a lot of stuff from different people, and if you guys like to know, I would definitely love to share that with you. Okay, so I took apart my old Nixbie bulb so you guys can see the inside, also because I needed the piece of tube and I want to redo it. I had first done it, as you guys see it, I picked a thicker wire and I painted it yellow, so it seems like that's the one that's lighted up or enhanced. So what I wanted, also I had to cut it because I made them shorter than the ones I showed you previously. So I kind of wanted to be, when I look up Nixie bulbs, sometimes they look like when you take them out of the machine, because these are usually light bulbs that have been taken out of old Russian equipment or old equipment, or lab equipment, I think, or Russian. I keep on hearing Russian equipment, and so they have like dangling wires, and they're all like different sizes. So I wanted to see if I could pull that off. So that's why you'll see me make different sizes of like tails, the tails that are going to go in, sticking out. And so what I'm doing here is I'm going to make a bunch of numbers in an attempt to make it seem like the Nixie light bulb. They have the filaments that light up with the numbers, but they have all the numbers. They'll have like 0 through 9. But in our case, or you and I case, I think I'm just gonna put in a few of them. I don't think I have to put all 9 of them. I think that just the idea of being other numbers there will suffice. I don't think I really need all of them there. So you'll see me make some numbers, and I'm gonna paint them as well with the ink. I think I do these with acrylic because since they go in the light bulb, you can't really scratch them because they're inside, they're protected. And I don't want them black. Like I said, I just want to kill the shininess, dial it down a little bit. And this is my attempt of making a 3. I figure out a different kind of way of making a 3. But you guys will see me jump back and forth from different projects within the project, because I get lost so much into how do I make this and how do I make that, because I looked up how to make a faux Nixbie light bulb and nobody has that idea. So I have other ideas but now I would have to spend more money. But I am, because since I did like how it came out at the end, now I know that I can spend a little bit more money and invest in my project and not feel so guilty and not like throw it away at the end, So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you another video later how I'm going to kind of reinvent my faux light bulb, and I will make you guys another video, like an updated video on this project. Now what I'm doing here is I'm painting it's the inside part of not at the inside, but the closing of the light bulb. So I'm going to paint it black. I know it's going to scrape off a little bit, but like I said, I just want to kill the fact that it's like see-through, and I want to kind of hide a little bit of the number and the mess that kind of goes in there. Okay, so next step is to make the number that is kind of like the lit it up or light it up. How do you say it? Lit it up or light it up? I don't know. The one that's on. The number that's on. I want it to... Okay, so my idea was that I'm going to make a tube, and I'm going to shine the light from the bottom up so that it kind of makes it so that it glows. And it works fine when I try it on the light that's on my phone. It looks freaking awesome. I thought I was going to win Nobel Prize of crafts with this. But, okay, it doesn't look good with the fairy lights, people. The fairy lights are not bright enough. So, next steps are kind of wonky. And like I said, I'm going to fix it. I promise I'm going to fix it. But anyways, you will see what I'm doing here is I'm shaping my little tube. And it's, I don't know, I think it's on a, like an acrylic tubing. I get this from with an equipment piece of the machines that I have to print canvas. I get them in a part, but I keep them just because I always mess with them. So in this case, I'm shaping it. So what I'm doing is I'm heating it and then quickly, like sort of like a glass, I'm quickly dipping it in ice water, and it keeps it shaped. But it's gotta have, you just gotta be careful not to burn it because it bubbles up. But not that you care, because nobody can really see it in the inside of the light bulb. Anywho, you guys saw me skip all kinds of steps here. Sorry about that. I kept on playing with it, and it's just it got overwhelming. Okay, so this I cut up a little piece of foam, and I stabbed all my numbers on there, and then I glued. Well, now you see that I glued the foam in the little top, or the little inside tube that goes inside the tube, and then I also stabbed my tube. But now you see it yellow. How I painted it, I tried different ways. Best way I found is ink, alcohol ink. I don't have like craft alcohol ink. I have the alcohol ink from my machines. Yeah, ironically, it's from the same machine that I use to paint. Yeah, the same machine that I use those little tubes from. That's the same machine I got the ink from to paint this tube. But I think it's alcohol ink. I'm almost sure that's what it uses to print. I'm not 100% sure, but it's eco solvent ink, so I don't know if that will be using alcohol. I do use alcohol to wipe it and clean some of the parts inside, but I don't know if it's made out of alcohol ink. Anywho, so what I'm doing here is I'm leaving a little piece of the tube as well on the bottom, not only because I want it to support, because I'm hoping that if I stick 2 fairy lights really close to that tube, that it will, make the light travel up. Sort of like, like a neon light, sort of like that. That's what I was in my mind thinking, that works. I know that you guys, a lot of people, I see a lot of people saying, oh, I don't have any, create like ideas right now. I'm like stuck or blank in my head. And I don't know, but for me, it's like OCD, over creative disorder, because I have so many ideas. And it's, it's very counterproductive because, I'm thinking this and this and that, and I get stuck because so much information is always in my head. And if you guys would be in my head, man, you guys go crazy. So much to do in so little time. It definitely applies to me. Anyways, here what I'm doing is a base. I will fix it later. I will rearrange it. But pretty much what I'm doing is sort of like a fork to stab into the book. And the fork kind of turns into a loop that goes under the light bulb to kind of hold it in place. I also want it to be sort of looking like if it was the wires I was connecting it electronically, you know what I mean? But it took, this step took me like 2 days because I kept on playing with it, and when you have something in your mind and you want to have it that way and no other way, you just stick to it. So I played with the shape, the size, the length, the everything with this. Also, this wire, I think I'm gonna go back because it's a seasonal wire at the 99-cent store. Okay, now I don't know if it's for me or for like everybody else, because in my city or in my neighborhood, I have 2 99-cent stores. One is the one that's called 99 cents and up, and the other one's a Dollar Tree, the one that they raised the prices. Now nothing's 99 cents, now everything's 125. I got both of these products from the 99 cents and up. But having said that, I think that they didn't change the prices on the 120 on the 99 cents and up. I think they only changed the prices on the 99 cent store, the Dollar Tree. But anyways, this whole wire, I got it for 99 cents. And I'm gonna go back because if you've been here a while, you know how much wire I use. And that's only what you guys see me use. Like when I'm playing and being dumb in my office over myself, I spend a lot of stuff, you know? And I think that's the reason why I like to be creative as to what I use, because I use so much of so many things that I hate spending money and throwing it away. I hate wasting. Like even with water and electricity here at my house, I feel like I do my laundry at night so I don't waste electricity. I like wash my dishes real fast so I don't waste water. And like I don't know. It's a mental thing, and it's probably like a disorder of some sort. But I hate wasting, and so that's why I save all my art, because I've always see like all these beautiful things that I can use, and I'm not wasting. Like most of the books that I have here, I either pick them up from the trash or like not the trash, but at some of the if you go to a thrift store, they'll usually have a case or a bin in the back of books that they're gonna throw away, or they'll call them recycle. They're gonna recycle. And I always go and ask, can I go get some books from the recycle bin? And I get a bunch of hardcover books, and that's how I pick mine up. Most of the books that you guys see me make, they are literally picked up from the recycle bin at the secondhand stores. And I got some good ones too, like very old ones. So it works. I like it. It's an excitement. So here you see me sanding the faux leather that I made with the craft paper, and since I'm only taking the black part off, and it's showing the craft paper itself on the bottom, I feel like it looks like that leather when it's dyed black and then like it's torn, and then it will reveal like the skin color of the cow on the bottom. That's what I'm doing. I'm just roughing it up. I feel like I should have done more, but I didn't. But later when I finished the book and everything was on there, I did go back a little bit more with it, but I think I want it to sit on my desk, so I think I will forever be playing with it. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I always go back and play with my books. I don't journal on them per se, but I do kind of like change something that I did of it. Like I'll paint something gold, or I'll add something sticker, or like I'm always adding to them. They're like something that, do this and do that. I'm never quite finished with nothing. Always is always like, it's like Disneyland. It's always being worked on. It's never going to be finished. And I think that's for my books. They're never really going to be finished, and they're never going to be really full per se. So anyways, I'm going to put, as you guys saw me, this is plaster of Paris and glue. That's all there is. And I just wanted texture, because old books for some reason I feel like they have a lot of texture. Like, I don't know. I think that paper was thicker back then, or they made it thicker or something, and then like layers would start coming off or something. I don't know, but I was looking at this like 1600s book, and it was like falling apart, but it was like super thick with so much like layers of stuff. I don't know if it's grime or I don't know, but it looks cool. So this is my attempt of adding layer to my paper. I go back and forth with this. I feel like I could have put a little bit of crackling maybe on it, but because I put such a thin layer, and then I'm gonna spray it with the coffee water, I feel like it will crack it anyway, and I don't want the crackle to fall off. So this was fun for me for now. It was time to address the elephant in your room, which was this ginormous numbers that I put here in the book. I wanted I wanted it to be simple, like basic, but artistic. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense in your head, because honestly, in my head, artistic and basic or simple don't go together. They're like, you'll never see them in the same room. You'll never see them hanging out in like lunchtime. You know what I mean? So, but I felt like maybe if I did it with my calligraphy pen, that it would do all kinds of mess and kind of staying simple. So I just did a basic outline of the numbers and with the calligraphy pen, and then afterwards what I did is I wrote down a prayer for the year, and so within those numbers, and they're right there, and I just wanted to bring God into my year, in my relationship and with Him. And so I just wanted to, I know it's like not as working in your relationship with God, writing a prayer on your book, but it's a daily reminder because it's going to sit on my desk. And so yeah, I just put a little prayer on my numbers, and this is me trying to be grungy. I try to put a little bit of that calligraphy ink on there, and it runs a little bit. Okay, so calligraphy pen ink will run a little bit when it's wet, but once it's dry, it won't run no more. You know what I mean? Like sort of like distress inks, but once it's dry, it won't run no more. See, as you guys see right here, it's calligraphy pen, and it's not going to run at all. It's not going to bleed or anything like that. And I'm using water and coffee in this little spray bottles. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, you see the spray bottle here? It's like they have it at that like dollar section at Target, and I 100% recommend it. I was like, what else can I use sprays, because they're so awesome, and I'm like spraying my life away with them. So I just wanted to share with you. They're really cool, and they're cute, and they're not small, so I like them. I really like them, so people go buy them. On my grid, I'm adding brown. This is a little bit of acrylic, just for texture, for color, for toning. Not that you really can see it, but you'll see it. It kind of picks up, it'll pick it up, because the notebook has brown, so it will pick it up. It'll just blend a little bit more. That's all, folks. I did want it to see if maybe a little bit. I was thinking of maybe putting some glue with gesso or baking powder, so that it makes it like a thicker texture on there. But I just wanted tonality, and pretty much that was it. And I'm adding like rust, so attempting to not rust it, but rust it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm here doing: the yellow and the mustardy and the brown. Excuse me. That's pretty much all I'm doing here, and that's where it's gonna go. You see, it kind of looks weird, but in my head it makes sense. Let me know what you guys think. Would you have put the grid or not? I feel like it needed it to be in between the light bulbs and the book. Anywho, so I'm going to screw it in, and I have these like really small screws, but they have a big head. So they're like the chunky friend, the little fat friend you had in elementary, like that. They're short, cute, and they have a big head. So they do hold it in, but they do go inside in the book a little bit. So if you're planning on using something like this, make sure that you know that it's going to go inside your spine, and if you have that, you would have a plan for it. I will show you my plan. They don't go in so much. It's just a little tip, like like just a little piercing. It's not, they don't even go all the way through, but you will see, but you'll obviously see that it's a screw hand. I mean a screw tip. Kids are always around me. You guys see hands coming in and out. Those are my cuties. That hand you see there is my son Blue, and he will be having a video coming up in my channel in about, I think maybe next week. I'm not too sure, but maybe next week or the week after that. He's working on a video for you guys, and he's really excited to share it with you. He's been working really hard on it. Next step is my binding. I am 100% sure about my binding, not 100% sure about the calendar that goes, or the calendar pages that I kind of just threw them in here just for demonstration purposes, because I'm not too sure how they're gonna be. But for now, my husband and I want to sit down and plan like our year, like have a 1 year plan, have a 6 month plan, and have a like monthly plan. So in order for me to do that, it needs to be accessible to me. It can't be on the phone, because then I'll forget to look on the phone in my calendar. You know what I mean? For me, I'm more hands-on, more physical, and I'm in my desk quite often. So I want it to be standing in my desk. I want it in my head, this calendar. Remember how back then, like at the stores, they used to give you those little calendars that you would stand on your desk? That's kind of what this is. This is a stand in my desk calendar, or journal, or no, calendar planner / planner. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna make those little coil binding technique, but I don't want the whole coil all the way down. So I did 4 holes on the top and 4 holes on the bottom. They are a 1/4 of an inch apart. And what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a whole coil. This glue stick worked great. If you ever want to work a coil in your life, use the glue stick. It was the easiest thing. This wire is so hard to work with. Not hard to work with, but it's just so hard. So it's hard. You know what I mean? So the glue made it so easy to work with. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to coil the world, because it was so easy to make coils. Is it coils? What's the name of it? Coils? In my head it is. Is it not coils? All of a sudden I felt like you guys were screaming at me saying, no, that's not the name of it. But anyways, let me know. So I'm going to make, I think I did a 5 ring coil. That's what I did. 5 ring coil, so that I can put it in the book. So I wasn't worried about the separation or the spacing at the moment of building it. I felt like it was spacing it very well. Like as it was turning, it was kind of spacing it really good as it was. But I felt like most of the shaping and the separation is going to happen once I put it on the book. And this is me trying to figure out where it's going to go. Now I learned that you start at the bottom and work your way up. There you go. And so you will see that I'm putting it there, and see, it's going to shape itself to the size it needs to be, all on its own. Look at it. It's such a good girl. Look at the girl. Look at the girl coil. And that's pretty much it. That's how you make a coil binding. I loved it so much. But I know it's like a inside backwards kind of coil, but in my head, this is how it's going to be. You see how it's going to sit outside? And so if I ever want to bring it down or take it with me anywhere, because sometimes I do take it like in the room, or we take it to the living room, I'll just bring in the papers inward to play with them or to write on them, or if I feel like anything, I want to just be able to take it with me. If I want to add pockets or stuff to it, I could always grab it and take it with me. Now at this point I could, but once I added the light bulbs, I guess it's not so travel friendly. But I want it to be flexible. You know me, I need to have that flexibility of changing or moving things around. So I made a quick reference page paper not paper, layout in the front of the book, in the front of the page. So every page is folded. So every month is one page that is folded in half. And it's being attached by, not by the fold, but by the outer, it has like an outer trim to the page. And it allows me to open the page, look at it, the stuff, because in the calendar I'm doing a quick reference, but like when you open the page, I want to have like time, dates, and maybe in more in-depth information. You see how hard it is? That was my goal. I want it to be hard, and I'm gonna, coach it and train it to close to the closeness that I need it to be. If I have to, then I'll put a little closure on it. But for now, time being, I'm fine with it being this hard. And I made it so that it goes all the way to the spine. And when you close it and you put it inside, it will go all the way to the spine. Okay, and this is how I attach the light bulbs. Once I put the wire inside, and once I put the little wire inside of the little stand inside the light bulb, I put a lot of silicone glue in there. And so I waited till the next day to install my light bulbs. And pretty much that's it. I'm gonna stab 2 holes and push it all the way through to the other side and just bend the little legs. Sort of like bending the legs. Now, it was hard because I wanted to be as close as possible to the book, but it still wasn't enough. In my head, I knew that this was gonna happen. That's why I made the spine so deep. Not so deep, but you know what I mean, deeper than I usually do, because I want to make a flat cover on top of it, so that I can have like sort of like that little hole inside, so I can hide my electrical components, which is little fairy lights, and also my tails of my screws and the tails of the light bulb legs. And that's how pretty much I installed all the light bulbs. Now I played with them. Sometimes I bent them down or bent them up. But in any case, just stab them and put them in there. The fairy lights didn't work, like I mentioned before. Didn't work as well as I wanted to. I guess they're not as strong as the light of the camera. Of course, it's not right. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it like I said. I will redeem myself later. I have an idea. I have a plan. Don't think that I don't, people, but I do have a plan. And you don't see it, but off camera, it does light up a little bit. Not so much like I had in mind, but it does. And I was playing with the placing of the light bulbs, like in the front of the tube or in the back or where. But see, you can kind of see a little bit how the tube does light up a little bit, and not so much, like I said, but it does. So I want this to be sort of like a night light, just sitting there on my desk. I think it looks so cute at night. So that's why I want it to be lit up, and I've wanted to be doing Nixbie balls since probably my idea was to make it for my 2020 calendar. Can you guys believe that? Can you guys believe that? We're like 2022 people. Time goes by so fast, and I don't know. My kid's growing so fast. I became a grandma. I'm so excited now. He's 9 months old, and he's like eager beaver to like walk and do all kinds of crazy stuff. He's like walking and eating his life away, and it's like, I love him so much. He's so awesome, but he's growing so fast. Anywho, I don't want to bore you guys with this, so let me fast forward. And this is it. See how you can see a little bit here? I have too much light on me. I have like 3 big old LED lights on me, so you really can't see it. But they do light up. They're not so bad. I mean, I am downing myself, but they're not so bad. And I put some of the little ephemera that I got in the mail today. Not today, but like during the video. And I put that there. You see how it looks kind of like cute? Like it's an old book, and then they put stickers and stuff like that. Anyhow, there's the rest of the fairy lights, and I just put a big tape, packing tape on top of the little battery pack. I felt like it looked cool, like kind of like when you fix a book, sort of like that. I'm planning to do more vintage on it, like on that spine piece that I put there, that file folder that is hiding the lights. I do want to put more stuff on there, but I think I want to draw something there. That's why I didn't put nothing there. I think I want to draw something, or put some flowers or something. I don't know. I want to have that flexibility to play with it during the year. That's why I didn't want to like stuff it with things now. I want to play with it during the year. And so I hope you guys like this video. Let me know. Give me thumbs up if if it wasn't too crazy. I know it's a little out of the left field, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Love, love, love you guys. Till next time, stay safe. Bye.